What I liked about the article is the different perspectives about from different CISOs. What because when you say what are cloud myths, what are they? What CISOs are really saying is what do people don't understand about my job when I secure the cloud? And that's always interesting because I'm a CISO too. I want to be understood. I want to be loved and caressed and whatever. So it's always nice to see what some people don't, what other CISOs are struggling. So as a CISO, it's more like a group support thing because I'm reading something like, oh yeah, that also sucks, and you read something else it's like, oh yeah, that's also terrible. Why do people keep saying that all the time? It's just a connection to other CISOs and seeing what bothers them. It's just not me. I'm just not the only crazy one who feels that way. A misunderstanding is the most basic communication error, and that's what we deal with as CISOs all day. Misunderstandings. So a myth, it's like it's like a big name for a common problem that we face every day.
A myth is just sort of like, I guess, an enduring misunderstanding because when it hits sort of mythical status, if you will, it's like, oh, we've heard this for a good long time. Like the big one that we hear all the time, and it goes interestingly both ways of the cloud is secure and the cloud is not secure. Both of those myths very much exist. Let's just get to the core of that one because I've addressed this one before. Why do you think those two extremely opposite myths exist?
Because they're both correct. In the core, they're
Okay.
both correct. I'm very pro cloud. I always think cloud is the answer to a lot of security issues. But then, that's also a lot of time is a myth. It's also a myth to think the cloud is always secure. That it's always they're going to care about you, and ultimately a lot of times it does raise complexity, and it's not just an easy thing that you should say. The second you started going with the slogan "cloud is the answer to everything," then you're falling into the same mistakes as the people are saying cloud is the worst, most insecure piece of thing there is.
What makes the cloud so wonderful, and we're talking about speed, we're talking about scalability, ease of configuration, is also what makes it so incredibly dangerous at the same
Exactly.
time. Would you agree? And
Yeah.
so, keeping that in mind, like as we're enjoying all these wonderful things about the cloud, we have to realize that it is going to make our security job much harder. Do you think it makes your job a lot harder?
Well, again, that's a myth.
Oh, you don't? You think it's a myth?
No, sometimes it makes my job harder, but a lot of times it makes my job easier because
Mm-hmm.
when you're in the cloud, you got, especially if you look at it like a SaaS, cloud is like a big name. Let's you look at a SaaS platforms. A lot of times you got 10,000 engineers helping you do your job. You can never get to that level by yourself. So much
Can
time.
I isolate? Give me some examples. Give me some examples specific as to this makes my life wonderful. This makes my life miserable.
Okay, so if you have a very strong cloud-based vendor,
Mm-hmm.
okay, a security vendor, so you can utilize their threat intelligence, their threat hunters, their engineers, and you just raise your security in a way that would be very, very hard to do yourself. You can do it yourself. You would need a lot of people, and today with hiring and security, that's almost impossible.
And now what? Now the flip side. What makes it scary, difficult, miserable, complicated? Any of the above?
What's scary is in the cloud is the fact that the shared responsibility, the fact that in the end of the day, you don't have a complete control. And I think a lot of CISOs are control freaks because you got another company that has your stuff, and you got to work really, really hard to make sure that if they mess up, you're still okay.
We always point out like, say you're not in the cloud or you're not using AWS, your vendors and your customers are. So it's like it's a problem we all have to deal with, whether we're not dealing with it directly. Yes.
Exactly. Today, it's almost impossible to get away from it. Even if your company isn't, then your personal phone is in the cloud, and you're and your employees. And I worked in a company that was almost 100% on-prem, but ultimately you can't get away from it.
But you're with all that scary stuff, you're still very pro cloud.
I'm 100% pro. Yeah.
100% pro cloud. All right. I'm done. Spoke with Nir Rothenberg, who's the CISO of Rapid, who understands the difficulties and maintains his fear of the cloud, yet he's so pro cloud still. Correct? Did I describe that correctly?
That's totally correct. And we're in this for the difficulty. If I wanted an easy job, I wouldn't be in CISO. I just love it. And why not add more complexity to it? Let's have fun with it.